So I think we live. I think we going on. Steps. Yo.
Are we live?
Yeah, we
live and direct.
Streaming.
What's happening?
I mean, we still on the intro right
I
now,
got you.
so
Okay.
you know, just waiting for everyone to settle down. And now we're about to get busy. So on the count of 1, 2, 3, let me make sure the sound looks nice. Yo, 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 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
2, 3, 2, 3.
In my wizard voice.
Testing 1, 2, 1, 2.
Resurrector.
The wizard.
The wizard. Listen to these calming nature sounds.
Yo,
Inhale deep.
yo, yo, yo,
Inhale deep. Join me on this guided meditation. Boom, boom.
Right.
So, yo, we live. We live. This is the Fly Nerd Group.
What's happening?
What's up, y'all? We back.
What's
We
up,
back. We back again.
Yes, sir.
With more shit to talk about. More shit to do. This is Cosmo Galactus.
It's your boy Corey Green.
Coach E Soul Star.
Chauncey Woodson.
Whoop, whoop. We up in here, man. How y'all feeling?
I feel
All
good,
good,
man.
All great.
Feel
bro.
good. Summertime.
That's good, man. That's good, man. So, shit, we've been missing for a minute. You know what I mean? We've been gone for a minute. People been missing, but we back here. We here. We chilling. A few things coming up that I do want to talk about, and there's a few things that's going on currently that we need to discuss as well. So this should be a dope podcast moving forward.
Yep.
This is the Fly Nerd Group. If you're not in tune, you are in tune with the Fly Nerd Group.
Get in tune now.
You in tune now to the best.
indeed.
You know what I mean? And what's the word, Fly Nerds?
Man, it's just been summertime, man. Movies have happened.
Yeah.
Books have come out.
Yeah.
Toys have dropped. Video games have.
Events have been happening and more happening and on the way.
Yeah, so it's just been busy. It's
yeah.
been crazy busy. I'm enjoying it so far. Enjoying it. So Souls of Mischief 30th anniversary. You went to that.
Yeah, I went to that. I went to the 30th anniversary of the Souls of Mischief for their album 93 to Affinity. If you're not familiar with that, you gotta be familiar with it, man. They still play that song.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they still play that joint. So it's a dope song, and it means so much now when you listen to it in retrospective. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Souls of Mischief, very dope crew from Hieroglyphics.
I'm salty. I got on them really late.
Huh?
I'm salty. I got on them really late. Because back in the day, I was an idiot and didn't really give them the attention and the respect they deserve. So yeah.
Shame on you, T, because
Right, yeah.
That
see,
record-
and let me get into it then. Let me get into it. See, you fucked up saying that. So,
But no, they're awesome. They're really
no, the thing about, all right, so this song 93 is to Affinity, and the crew Souls of Mischief itself, I'm going to play this motherfucking video, you know what I mean? It's the visuals. We was hip-hop. I was ahead, you know what I mean? I was into this culture of rhyming and making music and doing stuff. So when I seen these guys and this, hearing this song and this rhyme structure and how they rhyme and present this song, I was like, oh.
It was game changing.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
It was game changing. Yeah.
Because you hear New York so much.
Exactly.
You hear the East Coast so much, and then the only thing from the West Coast you hear
Was
was
gangsta
typically gangster music. Yeah, so when you hear something hip-hop and refreshing, the beat, the melody, everything is light, you know what I mean? And the rhyme structure is like, nah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Now, I think for me at the time, it just didn't click for me on how refreshing they were compared to everything I was already out, I was already listening to. Now,
It was just like how it dropped, you know. So like whoever did the production for them,
It was mainly them.
I just don't remember. I don't remember which one.
Domino.
I don't remember which one was the beat.
It was A+, it was Domino, it was Casual,
Okay.
you know, this when albums used to have like leaner notes, so I used to memorize that shit. So yeah, I know Domino did a lot of production. Actually, they did a lot of sampling for like a single, like a group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There wasn't too many records they did. It was like, I think it was like one record, so, but don't quote me on that. That's supreme.
I know they
music
dug
is.
up a lot of jazz samples that.
Very influential.
Heavy.
Yeah, I went to it. It was a dope show. They did a lot of the songs from the album, of course. And you know, Psalm 1, she was there. She a comrade, an acrobat. Boop, 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 boop. She was up in there. She opened up, and she did a hell of a performance too. First rapper to throw books in the crowd. She signed her book. You know what I mean? Threw that joint in the crowd, so it was dope. And yeah,
always a good time with Psalm.
Yeah, she always tear it down. So you know that squad. So
yes, sir.
She tore it down, and then Souls came out and did the same. And it was just refreshing. You know, his was in the place. You know what I mean? And we enjoyed it. It was dope, man. It was
Sound like a good way to spend Saturday night.
Yes, indeed.
Well, and moving from that though, to some of the other things that are going on out there. Deadpool 3 is.
No. Before we get into that,
we
there was some off the list that I wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay. You want to address it early? Okay.
No, man. I don't want to address nothing. It's just one of our Fly Nerd members is traveling. Let me get adjusted real quick. So, yeah, folks. It's the Fly Nerd group. Cosmo Galactus and shit. So, look, man. Corey Green.
Yes.
You're doing some traveling, man. You
Yes.
going to the San Diego Comic-Con.
Corey Green came to San Diego Comic Con. Finally, I returned to San Diego for Comic Con. Yeah.
Finally! You gotta say it like,
Finally! Yeah.
And we need you to commit a felony.
San Diego at this rate.
So, I mean,
And don't let me back in no more because of y'all.
we're gonna get into the conversation earlier, but I mean, there's some reasons why I'm shocked that this is still going on. You know what I mean? We'll get into the reasons why, but since it is still going on, what are some of the things you're excited about?
San Diego Comic Con as a whole experience. It is literally geek mecca. And I've been fortunate enough to go at least 7, 8 times. Chauncey's going to be 1 year. Like, for instance, really Comic-Con in general, anything that you're into geek-wise, it's there for you. There's something for everybody. Now, I've said this 1,000 times for a lot of people that they hear me talk about this. If you're not having fun at Comic-Con San Diego, you're either a robot or a corpse. Because I'm dead serious. If you like anime, that stuff is there. You like comic books, that's there. TV shows, that's there. Comedies, that's there. Movies, that's there. Video games, whatever geek-related stuff, horror movies, that's there. Whatever, all that is San Diego Comic Con and then some. There's so much stuff, and I feel like let's not compare other cons. I'll tell people, take what I say with a grain of salt, because I'm spoiled from San Diego. Because there's so much stuff and so many panels, I feel like I'm really spoiled.
Why?
Because a day, half a day of Comic-Con content, maybe another show's full weekend. It's that much content and panels and stuff going on at San Diego Comic-Con.
Well, I can see that just by the litany of events that they have.
It's just so much stuff.
So it doesn't matter if celebrities there or not. It's still eventful.
Yeah, and like even if you decide to go, you have to plan ahead. You cannot go. I advise to not go there willy-nilly. Do not go there where the plans will be sensory overload because it's so much stuff. And I guarantee
Even though you're accustomed to C2E2,
that's nothing compared to Comic-Con. I'm not no shade C2E2, but San Diego is so huge and so much stuff. It pales in comparison. Like I would say, if you go there, do not go there without a plan because I guarantee. There was something that will be there that you want to see. There'll be 5 things going on you want to see at the same time. Out the 5, you got to choose one. And really plan ahead each day and also find out where stuff is. If not, you will be lost and you will be overwhelmed. That's how much stuff is there. But it's actually really cool and a really cool event to go to.
Okay. So, I got a wish list. So who's gonna be there today? Who's gonna be there? Who gonna be up there? Huh?
Who there? Who there?
Well, your boy Tyler probably gonna be.
Oh, that's Todd, huh?
Said the word.
You led him in time.
Huh?
Said them now.
Huh?
I would have said Judd Hirsch.
Really, everybody's there. Not just him, everybody's there. I ran to
Jim Lee gonna be there
Jim
too.
Lee gonna be there. Everybody's gonna be there.
Look, man, you see Todd, yo, man, Straight up, man.
Here we go.
Rob Liefeld, man. Get the burner. Yo, check it.
Really? Sheesh.
Get the burner, man. Yo, look, man. Ty needs a talking, man.
Look,
He needs to talk.
He needs to sign my spawns.
sign the spawns. Okay.
What else he do? Oh, Spider-Man 1s. Sign my... Damn, I might have to go and get my collection. Give it to you for real.
Good lord. You on your wish list? Okay, get your Spider-Man spawn.
And this is live too, right? So it was like, all right, man, this is
Figure all the stuff out.
yeah, I gotta get it to you. But besides that,
about figures.
yo, his
he's
figures,
costing me
man.
money. See, I know. I want. So if you want to chew him out about quality of figures. So we have two different arguments there, but we both have to like chew him out over toys.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
pause, I guess.
Poor
Chew
Ty.
them out over toys.
There's certain characters I want. He's made figures for. I really like. You don't like the way their articulation works.
I hate his articulation. They're like really stiff and like you
Like
can't
mini
do
statues.
nothing with them. They're like little miniature statues. So,
A maquette, if you
but the scopes are dope. I fuck with his scopes. His scopes is really awesome. But nah, man, he's slacking.
Well, I can't
Articulation.
argue with that one. But I also made
Cape all stiff and
right. Maybe
does not billow in the wind.
Right, because he wants like mini statues for these figures, a lot of detail that look really cool. You want your figure to be in a static pose, just one particular pose, then that's your jam. But if you want more articulation, you can do anything like these figures here. I understand your gripe.
Yeah, like we'll just cut it to it. Jada Toys, man. This Raul right here, boy.
That's a Jada toy.
yeah, this is Jada Toy. Well, I only gotta fix the light on this motherfucker.
What about Mr. Akuma here?
Oh, his afro is removable.
Yeah, it is.
I did not know that.
That's why I want a Black Dynamite figure.
Dynamite.
If you
Dynamite.
picked it up.
Black Dynamite.
Yeah, Black Dynamite. I want Black Dynamite and cream corn and
You want a whole line
Dude,
of
that's
Black
dope.
Dynamite.
Why
Right.
do you want that?
yeah, man. Oh yeah.
Kung Fu treachery.
Yeah. Who else gonna be at the SDCC?
Michael Jordan White has been there before. This year, I have to check the guest list again. It's a lot of people.
Jim Lee. It's a lot of creators that are.
Back in the day,
yeah.
I have run to Stan Lee at this at
Let's
Comic-Con, in person with an entourage. Like I have, like if you mess around Comic-Con long enough, I guarantee if you go to San Diego Comic-Con 1 year and be there 3 or 4 days, I guarantee you at least rub elbows or bump into a celebrity.
So let's see.
No doubt.
We got as far as comic book creators or artists go, we got Frank Miller, Todd McFarlane, Joe Quesada, John Romita Jr., Jace Krasinski,
Yeah.
Ben Templesmith, Junji Ito. That's actually going to be a busy booth. Jim Lee, Felicia Day, Becky Cloonan, and Jerry Beck. As far as those are the comic book creators that are going to be there. I don't see much by way of too many others though.
Yeah, because I think there's other transitions that's going on. That's it's going to be a lot of like the artist is there. Okay, Todd McFarlane, Jim Lane. You know what I mean? I expect them to be there. But as far as like celebrities and stuff, I think it might be a hold on that. So that's all.
Yeah, I think that's it.
You know,
well, here's a kicker.
what's the full?
Sometimes some celebrities will be in costume and they'll be on the show floor in costume and you don't know who they are. Like the year I went, I think it was 2019.
So Deadpool might be walking the street.
It could be Ryan Reynolds in a Deadpool costume. You never know. This was what happened to me. I think it was 2019. And I don't know if you saw photos of this of someone in a Pink Ranger costume. I could tell it was a black woman. And I ran to this person multiple times in the show. Guess who it was?
Who?
Lupita Nyong'o.
For real?
I shit you not. Yes.
See, I want to say something, but
It's on her. It's on her
I want to say
Instagram.
something, but we don't.
It's on her Instagram.
It's on her Instagram.
Yeah.
That she ran into you.
No, I saw her off and on the entire con. And this she never took her costume helmet off. I didn't know it was her until I saw her Instagram. That was her walking around, chilling out, dancing, the whole 9 yards. On her IG. That's how I found out who it was.
You never knew.
I never knew. This is one that
There's a
got
few
me.
things
I got
that-
another one, a better one than that got me.
Who?
This may have been happening, I think, 2017 or 2016. So I saw this guy dressed as Wolverine in costume. I'm like, wow, it looks like Hugh Jackman. At this time, I had no idea how tall he was. If I'm not mistaken, come to find out, that was really him as Wolverine cosplaying as Logan, and no one knew who he was.
How the hell you didn't know? He had
I
a
didn't know-
little mask on?
No, he had regular clothes on. He was like just as Wolverine from the movies with the tank top and
So
all.
Hugh Jackman was walking in and you didn't know that was Hugh Jackman?
But at the time, I never knew how tall he was.
He is short.
No, yeah, well, Hugh Jackman's tall. No, Hugh Jackman's really tall.
I thought he looked
He's
like
like
rather short to
6'2",
me.
Chauncey.
Yeah, about 6'2".
He's really
6'3".
tall. I assume just some random dude just looked like look-alike. Because you're at Comic-Con, everyone's in costume, man.
Right.
And like, depending on who it is. I read the other celebrity before my first time I went, and I didn't recognize her either. What's the chick from? She was a model. She was on one of those reality shows on MTV back in the day.
I know nothing of these
I'm trying to remember
of these
that woman's name.
real worlds in which you speak.
I remember
Six.
Right.
Yeah, but
The
why
gauntlets.
did that happen? But yeah, I saw Hugh Jackman taking photos and everything. Had no idea it was him.
So look, man, that's dope. So this year, I think Kwame. I heard Kwame gonna be up there spinning. He gonna do a little set.
I'm gonna try to peep that. Yeah, I'm gonna holler at him.
Yeah, Kwame gonna be up there. There's things to do, and you know,
Always.
there's always things to do.
I didn't get to the
Sounds
outside
crazy.
stuff. That's how crazy it is.
So they have after parties and legit like
Bruh.
outside.
Bruh. Let me tell you something. Comic-Con by itself. Let's say you don't even.
Are you
don't
a
even
party
have to-
guy though?
Chauncey knows.
Or I need to know the truth.
Yes. man, Comic-Con, yes. So let me
Sounds so
explain something.
serious.
So the show itself, let's say you don't have a ticket. There's so much outside stuff. You could be 2 days looking at all the outside stuff and the parties.
Okay.
Like it's literally just huge geek mecca. There's so much stuff.
I don't wanna be
the
an
first year I
outside
went,
Comic-Con
although I
guy.
missed it. Big Boy had a concert on the street with Capcom from Marvel's Capcom 3.
Big Boy Outcast?
Yeah,
That's dope.
yeah, man. Like it's a big.
So it's popping like that.
it's
Okay.
always popular.
Okay.
Like, it's always something.
Alright, now you talk.
You
They got
you
to
partier?
every year.
Now you speaking my language. Okay, alright.
It's always on and popping for like 5 days, man.
5 days. 5 days?
Yep. Preview night is Wednesday night. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So you going for full 5?
Now I'm gonna miss preview night, which is fine. I'm gonna be there Wednesday night. I'll get there late Wednesday. Where preview night is only open for like 3 or 4 hours, kind of get the lay of the land. But yeah, man, I have a lot of Comic-Con stories I gotta tell you. Yeah.
Who's the merchants out there? It's gonna be good figures, like you get deals.
You're getting people from all over the world. There's no telling, man. Pretty much you can find some pretty cool stuff.
just
out
gotta
there.
go.
You just gotta go. It's
just
hard for me to explain in words what's there as far as merch. What I used to do, I used to comes back with tons of free stuff. They give away free stuff not as much anymore, but back in the day, let's say like at least 10 years ago, and Chauncey can tell you, I've gone to Comic-Con and come back with 3 bags full of free stuff. I would get free T-shirts and memorabilia and books and just tons of free stuff.
Man, check it out, man. San Diego Comic Con. I got a list, man. You slap McFarlane.
Commit a felony.
I have to holler at Hasbro while I'm
X-Men
there.
sign. Hasbro gonna be there?
Yeah,
Holla at Hasbro.
everybody's there. Capcom, Hasbro,
Yeah, no celebrities, but all the video game people are coming out.
Xbox,
Capcom gonna be there?
The video game world's not on
Mattel,
strike.
Nickelodeon, like everyone in entertainment for geek culture is going to be there. They're always
Holy shit.
Yeah, and the video games are on strike.
No, they're not. They're not.
there. And
Street Fighter
I probably
popping.
will be competing in Street Fighter.
You will? You
San-
will be getting it in?
That'll be
San
good.
Diego style.
Yeah, I won a tournament up there before. I won one.
You did?
Yeah, I did. And I came in second or third the last
Corey,
time
you
I
think
played.
you cold, man.
Have y'all had it out yet? Have y'all had the
He
match?
actually had fights.
Y'all
We had
had
fights online. He got a little group and stuff, and he invited me. We go and we box. And he wins some, he lose some. But Corey good. Corey good. Corey is dope, but I'm tired of that shit. I'm gonna slap the shit out you.
I'll send everyone. You take a number. Take a number.
I'm tired of this
Damn,
shit.
take a number. I'm just happy to be in the room. I don't play the game too much. I know that I would get desolated.
You don't know till you try.
You know,
I mean,
man.
hey,
It's like riding the bike.
Hey, I mean, I would like to believe it'll all come back in one swoop. It'll probably take like 5 swoops.
And then with modern controls, even easier. So yeah.
That's some sucker shit, though. I'll be terrorizing. You got 4 buttons to press.
Hey man, modern controls is legit. So
I'm about to work a whole combo on.
be careful. People got 1 button supers, 1 button uppercuts. Yeah, I know.
Intrigued.
Anyway, man, so yeah, dude, Street Fighter 6. Yeah, I'm getting the Cammy, G.
That reminds me, we're getting a DLC character this week, actually.
Rashid.
Who the
Rashid.
hell is Rashid?
Sure,
He's like, y'all, is a brother named Rashid coming to the group?
Rashid.
Show
He's
me.
Pakistani, I believe.
Oh,
Yes.
all right.
His new costume was ill. I love it.
So he was on previous.
He was in
ones.
5. Rashid was. He was practically the star of 5, pretty much.
Real? Wait, I played Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
What, why don't I remember Rashid?
I have no idea.
He was smart.
I don't even know what you said, so I'm just going.
Because he was smoking.
I knew it was smoke related.
So now Rashid gonna be a new character in Street Fighter 6. I'm trying to pull up this information. I'm sorry. I'm just chilling.
I do like his new animations. His new costume was really dope.
Ooh, okay, I actually think I recall this.
Well, his costume was different, way different in this than it was in 5.
But it was the move, it was the flips
Yeah.
that I was recalling actually.
I think Capcom did a very great job with his new design, the cloth physics, and the animation looks amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah, he looked dope, man. He looked like he gonna be a terror, man.
Yes, he's gonna be a
like
terror, dog.
He could do.
He was a terror in the last game.
Like, yeah, man. He gonna do air combos and man, I'm sick of this.
That's spin kick.
All y'all gonna do is just do these combos, drive carries. It's gonna piss me off, man. I'm sick of this, Corey. I'm sick of this, man. Look at this shit he's doing. Air combos. Okay. Like old girl Lily. I hate Lily. Why they create her?
Why they create her?
Why
Your
they
guess
do
is
this to people?
Because of what they do, man. Yeah.
I don't
Because
think
this is the
cool,
game.
Man. So all y'all gonna be playing with this guy.
Well, you can learn how to play with him too.
Or learn to fight
man,
against
but
them.
I'm gonna be tired of this, man. Because all y'all gonna do is cheat.
No, they don't.
Well, I can't cheat because I don't know what I'm doing
People
yet.
online.
Because I don't know what I'm doing yet.
Well, they don't. They just want to play really lame sometimes.
Yeah, that's lame.
But once you figure out what to do, it's like I can even train you how to deal with the lameness. It's not. It's most of it is beatable.
So what's Capcom doing? Why they only dropping like one character at a time?
They always do that. That's how they prolong the DLC is the lifeblood to right now of any fighting game.
Okay.
You cannot I've gotten arguments with guys, a lot of OGs, like, oh, back in the day we didn't have all the DLC. I'm like, but that's back in the day
because it
The
wasn't
life-
possible.
Right.
That's why we didn't have it. It wasn't
Number two,
possible.
the lifeblood of your fighting game is your DLC content throughout the year. That's why I said earlier we were talking about MK and other games, mostly MK, the NRS stuff. I'm not crazy about them because they only support the game for only 2 years. Namco and Capcom keep supporting their game for 5 to 6 years or longer. To
I mean,
go on to the next
Super
game.
Smash Brothers has been getting DLC for how long now?
Exactly. So those are the lifeblood of your game. They give your fighting game legs on top of your fighting game getting like updates and patches and whatnot. The DLC with new characters and costumes and stages and whatnot
Keeps it fresh.
gives your game legs and prolong it for years. So like Street Fighter V came out in 2016. So the game finally stopped getting supported this year in 2023.
Okay.
Well, it's going to be technical.
Well,
Well, 2023, yeah.
Well, for obvious
Well, Street Fighter
reasons.
6 coming out. So yeah.
Right, for obvious reasons. But I
Look
mean,
how long that game was.
That's a long
supported.
but
stretch,
it's
though.
still.
And that game kept making money and kept being in the zeitgeist. People kept playing it, and the game got better off the years. All the support it has. So this season we're going to get characters in season. So season 1 we're going to get Rashid, Ed, Aki, and Akuma. I think I'm missing one other character.
Who's Aki?
She's a new character they bring into the series. She's a brand new character. Ed returns from Street Fighter V. We're getting Akuma in 2024. They'll probably announce another set of characters for 2024 also.
Interesting.
Well, shucks.
Yeah.
That game looks so fresh. Like I watch people play it. It's one of the few games I actually just kind of get lost in. Like,
Dude, it's so fun because I mean, for me, I joined in the groups with you. You know what I mean, and then Sometimes I dip off. I go to training. You know what I mean? Just training
You're the
combos
best
and you know.
around.
Boy, I be in there too.
We should totally shoot a training montage based around Street Fighter.
Make sure you.
You're nothing but a bum, cuz. You're a bum.
Oh, yeah, show me the next truck. Show me the next truck. I'll show you, truck.
Now we gotta do it like half circle, X, back, X, up, X. No, wrong combo. Put it down. Put it down.
I have to get the
You
order.
find an actual truck in the boulder stage of the game.
Yeah, find trucks.
I was just
We'll
gonna
fight
say,
a
make
truck.
sure you use the Rocky IV training music.
Is that Hearts on Fire?
Because when you take your character, you can rank your character.
Right, you get a rank per character you play with, and you're not ranked as
'Cause
a
that's
player.
when they were doing the,
so you can have again
compare
you have
their
a,
training.
Right.
Yeah.
platinum Ryu. Where you mess around with say Dawson, you have a silver Dawson.
Yeah, and you gotta rank your character, so you better learn how to play. Shit.
Got it.
Cause these cats know how to play, man. He know
Yeah,
how to play.
it's no
and I'm
joke.
telling you, these kids know how. You go online, man. You get all types of fights, man. All types of brawls, man. It's great.
But the cool
It's
thing,
refreshing.
especially in your case, you can play people your own skill level, like in ranked or in casual battle. Now, Battle Hub is a free for all, but ranked in casual battle, if you're in silver with, let's say,
Don't take your level 1 ass to a level
you'll be in
12
silver
fight.
you'll be around the silver gold level with everybody else.
I'll mix it up. I'll see what happens. If I get mad, I could quit. Always can quit, you know.
But don't rage quit. Rage quitting bad, okay? You shouldn't rage quit. Rage quitting is bad, okay?
Well, not that, but I mean,
You're not a rage quitter.
No, not a rage quitter. I mean, I could quit after you whoop my ass.
I got better things to do today.
Let me just go right here. You know? So man. So yeah, check that out. We just did a little, digression, but it's all good. So yeah, let's get into Deadpool 3. Let's get into this whole internet going nuts, man. How crazy out here.
Man.
Woo. I'm sick of all this. I'm sick of this, Chauncey.
Bro, we can't have no fun with nothing without somebody just spoiling every damn thing.
Everything, man.
It's
For the
like-
past few weeks, I'm glad this strike is happening. Because the past few weeks, y'all been talking too damn much, man. I'm tired of this shit.
Few weeks they've been talking too much.
Shut the hell up, man. You ain't got to post everything. News is news. We just absorb it, keep it moving. But don't spoil the movie that's coming out in the next 2-3 years, you fuck faces.
If the stuff they say is even remotely true.
Right.
And that's another one.
Well, that's true, too. It could be a lot of...
So I tell you, we're talking about the Deadpool 3 leaks.
Talking about the Deadpool 3 leaks, man. I've been seeing this picture. It's been haunting me since the past 3 days, man. Wolverine and damn Deadpool walking down a traily valley or whatever. But actually, it look interesting, right?
I mean,
Set photo. Like I said,
like a set photo.
That doesn't tell me anything about.
But see, I haven't read any of the articles attached to it. I just looked
Neither
at the
have I.
picture.
I saw the photo.
So whatever they're
It's all
saying, I don't know.
description.
And I've heard about the Jennifer Garner thing and so
heard
on and
about
so
that, too.
forth. But I mean, the internet is going crazy. People are leaking too much and talking too much.
I think it's a lot of things when it comes to content, and this is just revolving into this full story. When it comes down to content, you guys don't have too much to talk about. You know what I mean? Like, that's why the Fly Nerd Group is here, because we gotta have conversation. It's fucking dope. You know what I mean? But it could be about anything, right?
Yeah.
But
Sure.
basically, these cats find this information and they leak it, because they looking for hits. They looking for likes. They
Or
looking
worse
for
yet,
shares. They
Make
looking.
stuff up that's not even true and saying, "Oh, so-and-so's gonna be in the movie." They didn't want yada 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 yada. Not remotely true, and other sites pair what they got either they knowingly or unknowingly know it's false or not, and thinking it's real news and it's all out there.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so much false leads and people looking for, like you said, man, just looking for clicks, and that's why I stopped clicking on everything. I mean, that set photo is nice if it is indeed real, which I think it is. I think that part's been verified at least. There's an actual set photo, but I haven't read any of the corresponding gossip. I just refuse.
Dude, I'll be honest with you. There's a whole script out. The whole script out.
And I'm not reading that junk. I'm not even gonna believe it.
The whole
I'm
script
going
is
to
out.
see the movie because
The whole script is out.
Yeah, I'm not.
And see, here's next with the
But
script thing. I've got to with a friend about
curious,
this.
you can find it. That's
Yeah, but here's the
what
thing.
happened to when Feige was telling Marks to shut the fuck up? Like he was, remember, like Tom Holland who used to get part of the
Without you
script.
could set that to actors, but like, but here's the
But
thing.
this is like information from a cameraman.
But
You know,
still,
this-
but back to the script thing. That script can change like 100 times anyway. The script may not be what's in the final film.
Yeah, it could have been the first
I've
draft.
gotten to with friends about this, saying, "Oh, you know, the script is everything. Like the script may change 100 times, dog. The script is not written in stone."
Because, like, prime example, you know, Wes Craven continued to rest in power when he was doing the first 2 or 3 Scream movies. The cast members said they would always change the scripts around because each cast member would get a different alternate ending. You wouldn't know what the real ending is.
And how many endings was it?
It's been a couple of endings, but you know what you get in the final movie, that's what they pretty much went with. But they had 2 or 3 different endings, so if you got like a DVD or Blu-ray of any of the Scream movies, you can always fall back and see what could have been, as opposed to what you actually got in the movies. And it's kind of like the same deal what they tried to do with the Marvel stuff, but kind of like what you just said, Kaz, whether it was like a Mark Ruffalo or Tom Holland who accidentally said something.
Right.
It's like, you know, okay, what the hell? And now we've gotten to this point now where, you know, everybody and mama want to figure out the movie just by seeing like just this one picture. They be like, "Oh man, they finna bring back all the X-Men." Blah blah blah. How you know that?
Man.
It's like, how you know that?
Yeah, where do they get this information? Where do they get the based off this picture right here? Off this picture, there's no way for me to surmise that the rest of the X-Men come in anywhere.
I don't know what the
Context is
Right.
I have no idea.
As far as I know, it looked like they both looking at something, because the way Hugh Jackman's face is, he's kind of scrunched up like he was like looking at something in the distance.
That may not be in the entire movie anyway.
Yeah, that could not, and that could also just not be. It could just be a set pick.
This may be just a scene for something else.
Yeah, it could hit the chopping room floor.
Like Sean, how many times have you seen Marvel trailers come out? Even on the podcast we talked about this. What happened? They're arguing with people, they try to figure out what the film is by one trailer and saying, well, so popped up in this scene, and that's Spider-Man shadow right there. They're gonna do this
Spider-Man shadow.
That Daredevil risk. People think they figure out the entire film off one trailer. And Marvel put in a scene that seemed off anyway.
They got nothing better to do. They got nothing better to do with their
Infinity War
time.
when Hulk was running with the rest of the Avengers.
Sure was.
Everybody
Hulk was clearly in that scene running with the Avengers, and that did not happen.
I'm still mad about. I want to see when the Hulk runs the Avengers. I was promised that. No, you weren't. Sit down and shut up.
Well, that's because people take these studios at their word. They take these trailers at their word when it's all smoke mirror dog pony show.
Right.
It's all smoke mirror dog pony
take no
show.
trailer at face value. I just see it like, okay,
Yeah.
so this is the vibe I'm going to get from the film. Okay, let me see.
These days, trailers are more for tone and like entertainment than anything else.
Really, to me, they all been like that.
Yeah,
You can't decipher the whole film.
Content and take it to art.
because they got nothing else to fill the gap between them, because we are, and you guys have heard me say this a million times, we are in an era where the movie fans have these demands that don't exist really amongst the comic book fans, because our fix is always sated. I don't have to wait 5 years for another Captain America movie. I can read Captain America right now. So there's this schism of the fans that depend on these films for all of their getting all of it, and then there's a group of us out there like, well, that was cool, and then I go right back to reading the comic. Like I wait for the next one to come out, because I see the movies much like I saw the Walking Dead television show versus the Walking Dead book. It's just it's the same story. It's just kind of told over here, off to the side, made easily digestible to the masses.
Or like prime example the other day when I put up a post in one of the community groups about, you know, one of the young cats getting nominated for Last of Us, and somebody commented, well, you know, I hope little buddy win, but the show was still garbage. I'm like, how was garbage? And then when he gave a little breakdown or what have you, I was like, so in other words, you don't like it because it wasn't video game accurate. And it's
Yeah,
like,
it was though.
I thought it pretty much was.
yeah, but
Like I played the first Last of
Like
Us.
Last of Us, I know Last of Us like another Transformer movie. Like,
right. But
I
then,
play that a lot.
but then there was this, you know, comment or complain about filler episodes here and there.
There was a couple fillers.
There wasn't enough of the creatures involved.
Oh my god, man, that Nick Swanson episode was amazing. They told the story of the couple that found each other and left the stuff behind for Joel. That was an amazing episode, and it actually advanced the plot and made the world make a lot of sense. Like how everyone was, how Joel is. Right. That was a way of learning about Joel without even seeing Joel. Exactly. That these people would do this, like this guy would do this for him, that they would hold out and do this for him.
Right.
That speaks volumes without even Joel having been on the screen.
Exactly.
I think you need
and people don't appreciate storytelling sometimes, especially unfortunately from the video game crowd, which is kind of shocking because Last of Us was good because of the story, and for them to have to take time and realize you can't build it the same way it is in the game.
That's the problem, because
you can't build it that way.
Because even that episode, what you're talking about, I remember the level that I played on the video game, and the video game is riveting as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand when you translate things for story and translate things for entertainment is a different level. Mm-hmm. You can't have Joe just bodies like slaughtering cats.
You need filler episodes. You need like a lower episode.
You don't need fillers. Now, I'm not a filler fan. Don't give me fillers. But there is a way that you could
advance
create
the
content to advance the story.
But I'm saying, like,
and make it entertaining.
Right.
You carry though.
Yeah, right. You can make fillers episodes that give you a more insight on what the world is like on a smaller scale. It can't be every episode he's barking somebody every episode.
Nah, you can't.
Like similar to Walking Dead. It was an episode where they weren't killing zombies. There was stuff dealing with the world and those characters. I'm not saying fillers are always good, but they're not always bad either. I don't think like shows like Last of Us or Walking Dead or let's say Attack on Titan, every episode needs to be action packed and stuff happening and stuff popping off to tell their story and get you a gist of what the world is like. I think some filler is good. Like even the perfect example of that is Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's the perfect example of that. It's, to me, one of the best animated shows of the last decade. That had some filler, but it moved the story along where every episode was important, big or small.
Mm-hmm. Subplots. It's called moving the subplots along. But when you have a video, like it's like you said, if that level in the game was like, oh, I had to kill all of these infected to get to the house. Well, we just saw you do that in the first 2 episodes. Kill infected, kill infected, kill infected, kill infected. Right. Do we want 8 episodes of him just shooting something every time and no real like rhyme or reason to it? No, we don't.
Or no substance of story.
No substance of story, yeah. So you can't have it both. You can't have it be super shoot 'em up all the time. It has to come back to the drama and to humanize these people or even villainize these people, as we see in this scene right here. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes these people are villains.
Yeah,
and that's
it's the story plots that make them, that sell it, not so much the fact that when you got to this level in the video game you made this choice. That's not what we're looking at here. We're trying, because they can't sell that to Joan Q Weekend
who ain't never played the game, but like hardcore who like scary stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't sell it that way. Yeah. You have to think when you put this out there, something like this on this scale, you have to hit your core to a certain extent, but also have it where everyone can take it in.
Right.
It can't just be specialized, because you know what happens when something's specialized? It fails. Because when things come out directed solely at one group, they don't last too long, at least movie-wise.
And you iced everyone else.
Oh yeah, you iced everyone else out. You know, you can be like, oh, that was a great movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm sorry y'all didn't like it.
and we learned that from comic book films.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly. So, you know, you gotta watch that. And Last of Us is a great show.
I got 24 Emmy nominations. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know,
I really want to play the game before I watch the show, but that's just me.
You never played the game?
No, I haven't.
Such a beautiful game.
This is a beautiful game.
Amazing.
And that's one of the things. It's one of the best video game stories
in a long time.
In a very long time.
Long time.
Like
compelling.
Well, it's the same company, Uncharted. You know what I mean?
Different writing team, but yes.
Yeah. So.
I mean, but while we still here talking about writers in Hollywood, perfect segue.
Yep.
The strike goes up a notch because now the actors are involved.
Right.
Here comes a new challenger.
Because now, I mean, the actors were already out there on the picket lines with them, but now it's like,
Well, the writers was always out.
yeah, but I'm saying, but it was some actors that was out there on the picking lines with the writers. Some actors were going out there,
And this happened just a few
but now,
days ago.
yeah, but now it's now the whole SAG is involved.
Yeah, they got involved in this happened a few days ago. Actually, man, what's the director name for Oppenheimer?
Chris Nolan.
Christopher
Yeah,
Nolan.
Chris Nolan can't catch a break, man. So yeah, this strike started actually around his premiere for Oppenheimer, and the actors just departed.
Yep,
Departed the
they all
premiere.
walked out.
Yeah, they all walked out. They joined in this. There's a lot of levels to why all of this is happening. You know what I mean? And it's a lot to do. A lot to do with AI and
Yeah.
streaming and royalties and where do this content go and how can people get paid for their money and for their work and for their talent in this modern day, because it seems like technology sometimes is like outgrows humans as usual.
It outpaces pay rates and laws.
Yeah.
Technology outpaces pay rates and laws, and so
Sometimes ethics.
and well, yeah, always. So it's pretty much what unions, which unfortunately move with archaic methods, have to catch up to current times a little. They have to be more on top, because don't let it become a problem once your whole house is on fire. Like if you knew the basement had an unstable furnace, don't wait till it's a fire. I'm not saying like they had a lot of control, but they should have been seeding this a while ago.
Right.
To build up their defense, to have more ground to stand on now, because unfortunately, look at what that exec said that set Ron Perlman off.
Man.
That's, I mean, and I agree with Ron Perlman's sentiment 100%, but the deals that they have been signing with these studios have put the studios in positions to have this sort of power, because they're used to it. Y'all been signing these deals for years, giving up these rights for God knows how long, and now I'm not saying that they definitely deserve them. Give these people their money, but why is it always like? Why aren't you all doing better in these agreements to stop this from getting this far?
Well, let's talk about it, because all right, when it first all this stuff started to happen, we only had Netflix and maybe like Hulu. You know what I mean? That was storing this content. Yeah, and now we at a rate where every company has streaming service. And all right, is everybody making Netflix money? Like, is everyone subscribing to everything? You know what I mean?
'Cause, like,
and really
it's
watching all of this content. And if so, all right, you watching an old episode of Seinfeld to like Extraction 2. You know what I mean? It's like, where did the compensation go? Because even with the Wonder Woman movie, right? The 85, they gave her a full deal. Like, here's $1 million, here's a few million.
Right.
Boom, we play the movie, we own the IP, whatever, and it is what it is. But moving forward, do royalties exist anymore for these movies? If you play a certain movie, do the certain person? Because like in music, if the music get played, no matter what standard, in which musicians should strike too, but we'll talk about that later. But it's all crazy.
Here's
How you direct the money?
Here's the thing. If I shot a show in the 90s, and chances are my contract paid me whatever the going rate was in the 90s, I probably had something set up for residuals if the show gets into syndication. Streaming on a platform. So let's say it was on NBC, so that means it would be a Peacock show.
Right.
So I shot this in the 90s. When it shows on Nick at Night, I get my royalty check.
Right.
But if NBC owns Peacock, so when they stream it on their own network, a show that they own,
Where did that go?
right? Where does it go? That's like that point. But the deal that I signed was only for syndication. So therefore,
So you have to include.
you have to negotiate now
And that
going
was from
forward.
almost 30 years ago.
Right. You have to negotiate going forward now. Like, okay, if syndication, boom, streaming, boom, points here, points there, you have to take the Wu-Tang principle, and I want my money everywhere my logo falls.
Right.
Right.
But that's on individuals and the unions to do these things and make these changes now.
So,
But here's the thing: the studios know, like, guess what? I can sit back and the people at home still gonna watch Seinfeld. I'm gonna get this money while y'all strike, like because they've propped themselves up this way now. It's fucked up.
And that's what they said, they was going to strike until they go poor and hungry.
Yeah.
And that's what really ignited the actors to join in. It's like, well, hold up, man. You know what I mean? This ain't fucking fair. What y'all talking about?
Right.
So even moving forward with like the AI, one of the things what's exposed is like they scan you, and they could use your likeness.
Like you're an extra or something.
Like you're an extra, but they
Let's
can
say
still.
I'm a background character in the movie. I have one line, and let's say I don't know, a Marvel film or
They can push you in the background anywhere.
Right,
But
and
they could.
they scan my face, and I'm paid for that time to be there. They have my likeness forever to do what they want to do. They can copy and paste my likeness, and the next 25 moves to the next 20 years.
Right.
And I get no compensation for it.
No compensation.
They go, this is groundbreaking, and we're like, no, that's BS, y'all.
But didn't they try to do that with Jet Li or something? Like, wasn't like
I don't know.
I heard Jet Li or Jackie Chan. I heard there was
Something like that.
they hired him to do some. I don't know, it was The Matrix or something. But it was like, yo, let's scan you doing this karate or something, and he was
Oh yeah, they made the
motion
motion
capture.
capture. Yeah, the
He was
mocap.
like, nah, I'm good. And he walked away. Is that similar? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, I think the people who do mocap for Street Fighter, they start off with regular actors. Of course, the other stuff is fantastic, but you know, they do start off with like actual trained fighters doing these things to get the mocap. They're gonna have to negotiate going forward to make sure that their contracts include streaming as well as syndication, whatever the give back is to make them feel compensated for. But at the same time, you can't overstate your worth in some of these situations. Like if you know your show bombed out, then your show bombed out.
you know, the fight isn't really. And that's a good point, because it's like if you trash, you trash. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of stuff that came out that was trash in a few years as well. But it's just for the rights, because it's just, for me, I look at it for a human thing, man. You know what I mean? We write stories. We're humans. We create stories. You know what I mean?
Create the
matter-
emotion.
Create emotion. You know, we create everything, vivid colors, vivid descriptions, whatever. We could go dark, you know, we could go light and bring total connection
Yeah, and
with
your
people.
actors bring your writing to life. And also, we got into the VFX artists too.
Yeah.
Brett bring the special effects for your favorite sci-fi, action, comic movies,
Horror
and all that. Help bring those to life too.
Right.
My one complaint, even movies that I've liked recently, it came out this year, is the problem with some of the VFX art, especially like Flash. Flash didn't bother me as much, but in the first few minutes of the film, I can tell the VFX was really lacking, really bad. It's like for a big budget film that was hyped to holy hell, have all this money spent. Why are the VFX so cheap looking?
They said they did it on purpose.
Which that's just a lie. I'm calling BS on. I'm going to call straight BS on. Y'all know.
I mean,
BS.
the Black Adam VFX weren't the greatest either.
Which one?
Black Adam, the VFX weren't that great on that either.
But yeah, but even but across the board, I'm like Marvel and them too.
He floated all over the place.
They really pushed, the VFX artists to like the midnight hour to get the stuff out. And sometimes it's really subpar because they're rushing this stuff out.
So
and
would you use AI for a replacement for this overwork conversation?
No, really the opposite. Really is to slow down the production. To me, for a big budget film, your big budget summer film, blockbuster, I should get if I'm paying $15-20 to see your film, I should get good quality visual content on top of a quality film. You got to delay it 6 months or a year, do it.
Well, I'll tell you a few things on this though. A perfect example of all this stuff with the AI and streaming and such.
Yeah.
Prime example, if you paid attention, look at how many Bruce Willis movies that came out like direct to video as of late. You want to know why? Because they sent a thing for him to use his likeness, use his voice. Because if you already know, paying attention to Bruce
he got
Willis,
sick. Yeah,
he's got dementia and everything like that. And he can't function like he used to. So everything from his likeness, his voice, as such, is signed over to all these hundreds of direct video or direct streaming movies that's got him starring in it, but it's not him.
Holy moly!
Wow.
I never knew that.
I didn't know about the other stuff.
So,
Wow.
because I thought like Star Wars used that effect too with Princess Leia, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Right, but then they get the consent.
They had the consent
They got
from her
consent,
estate.
though.
They got consent.
But then they added like Peter Cushing and something too. He was.
They got consent.
They got consent,
Right.
yeah.
Real?
Yeah.
They did not up and do this like willy nilly because they wanted. They did.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
did
they got consent.
Law for
Yeah.
family and states to do this. They just don't do it because they felt like it.
So that's different. All right, but
Yeah, when you get permission, and that's completely different.
Right.
Because there are people who definitely say yes to these things. So you can't lump. Unfortunately, there is no large lump because there are actors and actresses out here saying yes to these things as well.
Exactly.
They're not just like, oh no, don't do it. They're like, oh, because it still allows them to get a check by saying they'll do this. So there are those who are doing it and those who are against it. Just like anything else, it's going to have pros and cons. It's just a matter of the studios paying these people correctly, no matter what they're using. Everyone should be compensated correctly, be compensated fairly. The unfortunate side is that Hollywood has been stacked since 1920s with money and power that actors and writers have given to the studios to get these, because it's a give and take. Like the studio will be first to tell you, oh, you can't make $5 million a picture if I don't pay you to pay you $5 million a picture. So here, I have your whole body of work at my disposal previously. I can just play this on streaming. These people out here will watch it. Hey, Mission Impossible 1 through 6 right here, or 1 through 5 right here. Boom. We don't gotta pay you nothing right here now, Tom. Like, we don't gotta give you nothing else until you play by our rules, because they've been propped up that long. It needs a complete entire regime change, which I don't think they're gonna get, because the studios can wait for these actors and writers to star because they have a steady streams of money in. They can make millions without these people.
And to kind of piggyback off that too, for what you're saying, it's an actress by the name of Michelle Hurd. You may or may not have heard of her. She did Law and Order. She was most recently in Picard with Patrick Stewart, you know. And she has broke down the whole thing about the streaming. Like she said, you can go in and do like, a regular show, say like on cable or network TV, put in your whole work in 9 months, and you got guaranteed time of when it's going to come out, when it's going to drop, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
If you do something on the streaming side, though, yeah, you can sign off and do something like on the streaming side. If it's like an original movie, original series, there's no 100% guarantee, because, yeah, you can put in 4 or 5 months of doing it, but you're not going to guarantee to get paid on it until they drop it. And they said, and she said they can hold the damn show to like 3 years if they want to, or even to the point where they don't even bring it out at all.
Yeah, I mean, lots of shows see production and then never see real airtime. That happens a whole lot. Like, actors have stories about, oh yeah, I worked on this project and we did 3 episodes and then it never came. They never came out. Right. So that's just called production limbo, essentially, where you shoot and you spend an X amount of time recording something and then they shelve it. And I think this is just now the perfect time to change the way the union negotiates contracts and actors negotiate contracts. But like, with them being so separate, it's not like every time an actor sits down to sign a contract, a union rep goes with them.
Right.
Everyone just goes and does their own thing. So if I say yes to the likeness being taken, but then Kai say no, then I may be eating, unfortunately, when Kai's is striking, because that's just how I go. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's just time to restructure and rethink. You guys need to make sure, actors, Hollywood actors, I'm talking to you, make sure that you get your syndication rights, your likeness rights, your streaming rights, and anything else. But also, if you show bombs, you show bomb. And take the L and move on, do something better. Okay? Like, we all can do, Hollywood do better.
I didn't
Top
know
to bottom.
Fran Dressler was the head of SAG. She was a representative.
Yeah, I think she's like SAG, current
she's
SAG
like
president or something like that.
That's the nanny.
Yeah, the nanny.
Mm-hmm.
And contrary to popular belief, every actor are not rich millionaires or billionaires.
They are not.
No,
That's true.
They are not.
But this affect the cameramen, the lights, the
Yeah,
booms,
it's the whole, everybody, the whole industry.
And everyone doesn't make that money. You know what I mean? Just like you said. So
On like your Tom Cruises and Samuel L. Jackson.
Because, like, prime example, Matt Damon dropped that in order for you to get, like, any real health coverage insurance as an actor, you got to at least break $26K. And the sad part is 87% of your talent can't qualify. So it's like, okay, what the hell now? What?
I mean, it's a sticky, messed up situation. I'm worried about how long it's gonna last.
Same.
because it's going to affect everything.
Yeah, it's gonna affect everything. I wonder what, like, last time the strike drug on, it was reality TV show hell.
Oh,
Let's just be real. This last time this strike in this magnitude happened was 60 years ago.
yeah.
You know, so
Of this magnitude, yeah. But the last writer strike, we got a shit ton of reality TV shows.
And a lot of movies and shows suffered.
Oh yeah, a lot of movies and
shows
shows.
suffer because of the writer's strike. Right.
So yeah, it's wow, yeah.
got a lot, man. It's a lot. It's
got a
heavy,
lot.
man. You know, a lot of things. Y'all was posting all that Deadpool shit, but they shut down production.
Mm-hmm.
People striking, you know.
That's right.
So you know, it is what it is.
So now where is it going? Get your pictures now.
Get your pictures
Right,
now,
right.
son.
Get your pictures now.
Post your pictures now, son.
Let me
Picture
see those-
pages. Picture pages.
What's this going to delay?
Let's see them false reports of Ben Affleck coming back as Daredevil.
Right. And speaking of delays, Marvel saying they're going to roll back. Well, not Marvel. Disney said they're going to roll back doing as much Star
Iger,
Wars
yeah.
and Marvel content.
So
Well,
is that
that's
a
right.
good thing
Yeah.
or a bad thing?
I'm 100% for it.
In my opinion, I'm pretty for it. I think scaling back some of this, at least on the Marvel side of things, I think for now, scaling back the content is probably a good thing. Like I said before, with the quality of CG, they're doing less projects, taking more time, give us a better project. Maybe they need to go back to doing 2-3 films a year and 1 or 2 shows a year, and not as so much stuff throughout the year. Star Wars I'm kind of shaky on, but Marvel most definitely. Like, we're getting an Echo show. I think Echo could be like a
Special
special,
presentation.
like a 1 episode, like 1 hour special, or even at worst 2-3 episode thing, and that's it. I don't think she needs a full show.
I personally don't
I don't
know.
think she needs one.
I personally don't know why they're not just saving Echo's story for Daredevil. Like,
Right.
really? I mean, honestly. I mean, I get it. I get it. She made like a quick debut in Hawkeye, and it was cool, and the character is cool. I'm a fan of Maya 100%, but I don't think an entire show is necessary. I think it would have served the character better to make them a Daredevil subplot
Right.
the way they actually were introduced to us.
Like, Sean, how many Echo fans you seen in a room together argue with each other? My count is 0.
Yeah, pretty much. I've seen Daredevil fans argue about Echo,
Right.
but I ain't never seen Echo fans argue about Echo.
So there's an internet rumor that actually Echo is trash and that there's actually hesitant to put it out.
Yeah, they say that the Disney execs are not happy with the turnout of Echo, and I'm not surprised because it was so little to go on.
Right.
So little to go on. Like
So they was gun ho making these series, and that's the thing. With, I think
Yeah.
with Phase 4 was what I felt of, because I agree. There's more. I'm more quality over quantity, you know. And when you're making shows like that, you need VFX. You need these special effects and things to look right to capture that, and then you need to take time to write these stories too. You know what I mean? So let's get it together. You know.
Now, I am for let them experiment and try stuff. I don't want to be rigid, be like, yeah, they should do this, and this only. I kind of think them trying stuff is still fine because, at the end of the day, for now, their studio that produced the content that we like, they're somewhat the best at, because even their quote-unquote competition outside of their TV stuff can't even, catch up to what they're doing. But is it a little overreach sometimes with them? Sometimes, yes. I don't think Echo needs a show. I totally agree. I think Echo needs a special. Agatha, I don't know.
Agatha doesn't need a show.
Agatha don't need.
Agatha don't need a show.
I'm in the middle on that one. That one for me, I don't know.
Unless you just carrying on the Wanda series or whatever.
Agatha is not that interesting.
Well, I don't,
I don't know enough about her.
I mean, she was. I mean, I liked how they kind of changed her for the show, but pretty much she was the Fantastic Four's nanny when Franklin was born, and she ended up being Wanda's mentor when in the Vision and Scarlet Witch miniseries, but they didn't fight like that, you know. And Agatha wasn't trying to take her. Agatha has always actually been pretty helpful to Wanda throughout the years, and never really had any evil machinations.
Right.
So I don't really see the point of the show, honestly. I mean, Catherine Hahn did a great job as Agatha in the series.
That's a selling point.
I think it's all based on Catherine Hahn.
I'll watch it because of her. If it was just a character by herself, I'm like you. I don't see.
Should Marvel take time and do all this all right, they build a universe and now they having movies that connect and telling these stories. Should they just go to the straight stories now, or even with the strike and everything?
No,
just keep doing what
it's
they're
to
doing, but
stay in the
So some of these shows are necessary. Then.
Some of the shows are very unnecessary.
Some of them, I would say, experiment with Agatha, I'm fine. I think the selling point with Agatha is the actress herself. I think she can run a show and get the hook for the show herself. Echo is just not, like Sean said, it's just not far enough of a character for me to care or invest. They didn't do much for her. She was like a side character in Hawkeye. She's a side character in Daredevil. There was not enough for her to warrant, like, I want to see more for her and invest 8 episodes on whatever she's doing. I just don't feel like it's there.
Yeah,
I want to waste the money.
Basically,
at best, do a special for an hour and that's it.
And I was gonna say, basically, she doesn't carry the exact magnitude as what John Barenthal did with Punisher.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, but the Punisher is he's a character that can hold his own weight fan wise. Echo does not. Echo has never had that. I mean, Echo is a cool character. I've always said that. I've always liked Echo, but Echo is always kind of like in the cast, not leading the show.
And not enough me to say you want to know more about her and her world, you want to know more and invest in it. And not for 8 to 10 episodes for another show. I just don't see it either.
All right, so slowing down on content is cool.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the content that's
Secret
out.
Invasion.
Well, the good stuff on the content, Secret Invasion.
Yeah, we can get into that.
The Secrets Invasion.
Secrets
Invasion. You know how folks are even watching. A good show that another one people may not be watching, like Andor Stanley.
Andor was a hard watch. It's a great show,
but it's a slow burn. It's a slow burn.
Episode 5.
Yeah, I think it needs to be there.
Like, yo, man, it took a long time to get there.
Yeah,
it's a great show to look at, but I mean, that's a slow burn.
Which is fair. But Secret Invasion is pretty good. Like a lot of real conversations happening in Secret Invasion.
I mean, it's accomplishing its job. It has everyone wondering who's a Skrull and when.
So let's get into the comic book lore first, guys. Let's break it.
Well, I mean, it's so different. It's so vastly different.
Like the books are like this, and the show was like this.
Yeah. The books. It was a real invasion. It was global, and it happened fast.
And she was popping off really fast, and it happened in everybody's book and everywhere. And some folks were a Skrull for years.
Yep. I mean, it put to you like this: Bendis put Jessica Drew, aka Spider-Woman, on the New Avengers as a Skrull from the beginning of that book.
Oh wow!
Really, to be fair, I kind of feel like he more put her on the map and almost made her
He made her a central figure.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't remember during that time he really popularized Spider-Woman. Like he made Jessica Drew popular as shit, and she was touching so many things.
It's a lot like her now. Yeah.
Because she was a Hydra agent and a Shield agent and in the Avengers, and she was friends with like the street level heroes. So she was so interconnected, and no one paid her any attention. It was the perfect cover for the Skrull.
That was pretty dope, yeah.
Because she was everywhere, connected to everything, but no one pays her any real attention.
And she was the Skrull queen.
At that. Like, so it was just rough going. Nick Fury, like just like in the show, was one of the first ones to find out about it, and that's when he made the Secret Warriors.
Yeah.
But remember, this is where Norman Osborn took over and got the kill shot. And from that got handed S.H.I.E.L.D., which became Hammer under him. Secret Invasion led to the rise of the Dark Avengers.
Yep.
Right.
That's how Norman got all of his power because the heroes were so broken that he just swooped in, got a kill shot. Because the Skrulls had compromised Stark tech, and because Norman Osborn, being who he is, refused to use any Stark technology, when the world went dark, the only team available were the Thunderbolts, under his control.
So that's how that started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so he got the kill shot. Yeah,
Right,
Norman.
did he get the kill shot like on American television?
Yep, he got the kill shot on American TV.
So he had the American public's trust at that point.
Yep.
Which is crazy. That's some Lex Luthor type stuff.
So, and once again, this goes so huge in the Marvel universe. So the show itself is so compact and so much smaller in scale.
Which I kind of like actually.
I like the feel of the show has more intrigue.
Yeah.
Whereas in the comic you were like, wow, who had been a Skrull and for how long?
And then all this stuff will pop off in everybody's book of what was going on with the Skrulls.
Yeah.
In Wakanda, in New York, and with the X-Men.
There was Skrulls in Wakanda too.
They tried.
They tried.
They did not get there.
Failed.
They did not get there.
There was like no entry. If you're not black, you're not human. You ain't getting in.
Yeah, I believe that the name of the series was indeed See Wakanda and Die. That was the name.
They had Skrull heads on a spike.
They had put Skrull heads on pikes as a warning.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, Wakanda was not.
They weren't playing.
Wakanda wasn't playing. Nick Fury and his boys weren't playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was similar in terms of like the invasion part, but in terms of scope, way bigger in the comics. This is way more espionage in the show.
And
But I like that. I like
Winter
that.
Soldier, basically.
Yeah, it's that Winter Soldier feel. It's all espionage, behind the scenes work.
And it's not really superhero heavy. It's really Nick Fury figuring this out. And that's what I kind of like about this too, because it carry on. And I always say, hey man, why don't we have more content of them experiencing their downfall from this blip? Thanos won, man. He came and snapped his fingers. He fell victim of it.
Well, I think we're now getting a few shows and films with dealing with characters, how they dealing with the aftermath of the blip.
Right.
Which I kind of agree. I want more stuff on what happened, how people are dealing with post the blip, and really I want a few more stories dealing on what's going on that 5 years everyone was snapped away, or what the hell was going on. And I think that's cool. And I also think it's a cool thing that everyone came out the blip unscathed. Nick got scarred from that blip. So something with the blip really happened to him to make him want to step away.
But I think it was a lot of it because, I mean, just watching the show and just realizing, he, like I said, Thanos really affected, man. He went out his way. He worked with the Skrulls. The Skrulls hooked him up with all this advanced intel.
The spy network.
Yeah, and really boosted him up.
Yep.
To a point where he could design a team for protection, which was the Avengers. However, y'all saw the movies, man. Thanos came and did what he did. Snap, he blipped away, families destroyed, pretty much universe destroyed. You come back from after that, Thor was affected, right? Mm-hmm. So how do you think the man who put all this shit together gonna feel, and he lost his boy Starks? You know what I mean? Like, you know, he came back and Stark's dead.
Thor felt like he failed. Yeah.
And Thor felt like he did.
Like
failed.
He
got depressed.
He got depressed. And
so,
like Nick is like, you know, the world got kind of messed up, and I wasn't here to even help it. And I got dusted, and I come back 5 years later, and now we lost Tony fighting Thanos.
Yeah. And you know, it's like how you deal with it. So
that's not even the only thing. That's not even the only thing. He was helping the Skrulls find a home world. We haven't got to, I guess, what happened, why they didn't find one yet. What happened with that? And like his Skrull, he lost his shield status.
What's his name? Gravik. He ain't no joke, man.
Yeah.
Like, there he is. Just saw.
So like
he ain't no joke.
You know, but also, what was he doing
I'm
on
out
Saber?
for blood every day.
Right. There was so many doing on Saber. So yeah, he haven't found a new home world yet. We don't know what he's doing on Saber. Why did he come back to Earth in the first place?
There's a lot of questions on this show, man.
And I don't know if it takes place before or after the Marvels. I'm guessing it's maybe after. I'm guessing.
I think it's before.
I think it's before.
Before the Marvels.
Yeah, I think it's before. Because
I think it's
some
before.
guy make me want to watch that movie. But anyway, I think a lot, dude, and I think that's dealing with that. What I said about Nick Fury. Now, when it comes to the Skrulls, he have his friend Talos. You know what I mean? His partner in crime, who's providing all this information, working with him and shit. Talos' story is kind of cool, but
I end up liking him a lot, actually.
Yeah, he kind of like.
Well, to me, for me, he stole the movie for Captain Marvel for me. I know really liked him a lot, and in Spider-Man Far From Home, and I liked him a lot. And I like his camaraderie with Fury in the show a lot too.
Okay.
But again, that's just me.
Shout out Ben Mendelsohn.
Ben Mendelsohn was really good, and he was in Rogue One, so.
Yeah, he was.
Or
So I think his character is dope, but I think overall it's cool because he broke his promise or whatever the promise is, and they mad and they want to take over.
Well,
they infected the world. So
like,
this is like 2 alien invasions you got to deal with, bro. You got a whole alien race that's here, and then Thanos could just drop down and just snap his fingers and do whatever.
well, first of all, remember.
You look weak as hell out here, son. Pull your shoes up, man.
Well, we fall back to Chitauri, though.
He was like,
Right,
he was
Chitauri.
like, y'all help me keep my world safe. I help y'all find a home world. And he started, I guess, losing the grip on what was going on. And another, like you said, a second alien invasion. And then he stops Thanos the first time. Thanos comes back the second time, snaps him away. The world's different. With him being gone, Talos got the rest of the Skrulls that's come to Earth. So now there are a million Skrulls running around the Earth right now as we speak. He's like, you didn't tell me this junk? Like, seriously, fam? It's like, dude, we fight over black and white. Y'all green. we can't get on each other since the dawn of time. You can't have another species on Earth. You get along with y'all? Seriously? We don't even like each other.
Right. That's real.
That's very real.
Yeah, man.
That's real. How could we deal with another species if we have it here already?
Act a damn fool like we do
Y'all
each
little
other.
lizards. I watch V.
V, if you ain't seen V, I feel sorry for you. You need
Yeah,
to watch
I like
V right now. That is your homework.
Young Robert England is on V.
He sure is. Great
Old
miniseries.
Beastmaster Mark Singer.
Yo, Mark Singer, the Beastmaster. Man, I ain't thought about that dude in forever.
So check it. So what's up, man? So is Terrence Howard the real Rolling Man? Hey man.
I hope that.
We just want him to be because we want to be able to say Iron Man.
Iron Man. That's all. Hey, I was Iron Man. Where Iron Man?
Woe Machine. He would be Woe Machine.
Woe Machine.
Woe Machine.
W.A.
Right. Woe Machine.
So,
I'm Woe Machine, man.
well,
Yo, I got the chopper on my shoulder.
right. Another question. So, where's Elliot Ross at? Where's the real Elliot Ross?
Okay.
Wakanda.
That's all I'm getting. My guess is Wakanda, but that was just a
I think they
No,
just
I
use.
thought they take the bodies and
No, they don't have to
They
do
don't
that.
have to.
They don't have to
They
do
don't have
that.
to.
They could just shift in
They
and
can
to
shift
look
if
like
they
you,
want.
as long as they know what you look like.
Okay.
So I kind of believe that's what just did that to get rid of dudes on their tail.
Yeah, that they took to give a familiar face to that guy.
Yeah, I think the real K. Ross is in Wakanda like shot.
Because that's where he went at the end of Wakanda Forever. You're not getting him out of Wakanda without some problems.
That's
Right.
true. That's true.
Rhodey, me and Chauncey had this talk in the car. I think me and Sean talked about this too. One of my guesses, one of my theories, he's been Rhodey got replaced as a Skrull as far back. One of my theories as far back as Civil War.
After he got injured.
After he got injured.
So after the drop, because that's what the Emmy theory. Shout out to Emmy Warhol.
Either that or
He
during
said,
the 5 years.
He said this Rhodey didn't have the back injury or mention anything
Well,
about
we
it.
saw him in Infinity War with the bracelet on. The last time we saw him with his leg bracelet on in Infinity War.
Yeah,
Right.
but
That's the real Rhodey?
Tech advances. He could have been healed because look how they healed Everett's back. Everett should have been able to walk.
Right, well, Wakanda healed him. So.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's
we're not saying that Wakanda couldn't heal Rhodey over the course of 5 years.
I don't know.
Over the course of 5 years.
But my guess he got replaced way back in Civil War.
I'm saying either Civil War or during the blip
Yeah,
is what I'm
Civil War.
saying.
I say
That was my other
blip.
theory. He maybe he got
I say
replaced during the blip.
when he was
I think
actively
it's
being an Avenger.
It was too much with Civil War. Then we went right into like Thanos.
Well, no, hold on.
Where'd he go?
One theory is while he was in the hospital, he could have been replaced in his recovery. Like, it was really him that got injured. He got worked on,
but
surgery. He could be replaced during the recovery.
Here's where I feel
that was the clone. That was the in Captain America and Winter Soldier. That was the Skull Rhodey.
Civil War.
Right, but so he's saying
was that the
with
Skull
Rhodey
Rhodey in that show. Was
and
that the Skull Rhodey?
Falcon and Soldier.
Yeah,
I believe so. Possibly.
I'm saying that it happened
Yeah,
during the.
That is right around.
I'm saying it happened during the 5 years because the Skrulls themselves galvanized more during the blip.
That too is my other theory.
They got way more active during because they
and
even
that's
say
the perfect time. The universe has disappeared and boom, let's
Right, the Captain verse is gone.
Yeah,
Someone
because
said he brought a million of his folks over because Fury was gone. So like, what we
Right.
gonna do?
right. So because that's the thing during that 5 years, that would have been also the easiest time to grab Rhodey because he was avenging pretty much on his own. He was out here working his dolo.
Right.
So if you was gonna grab him,
team,
right? If you was gonna grab him, you weren't gonna grab him while he was in the hospital, constantly being watched by Tony Stark, being rehabilitated, right? You gonna grab him when it's the most chaos.
But Tony is not gonna grab him 24 hours a day.
He wasn't, but I guarantee you, while Rhodey was in recovery with Stark Tech on him, Tony's guilt in the beginning of that, he's there every day. They even showed that. They even showed that with the character. Now he leaves eventually. That's what I'm saying. He leaves. Blip happens. But the Skrulls got galvanized because of the blip. So I'm saying they took Rhodey while he was out in the world doing stuff. That's when he got replaced. They got him at another secure facility away from all the other people. Because they like, you VIP, fam. You get in places that can't none of these other scrubs get into. The milkman can't get into the Pentagon. Rhodey can. Rhodey can.
And that's why I like their strategy as the Skrulls, because they definitely infiltrated. Yeah. So when it comes to like infiltration and like really getting diplomatic immunity, they work that shit out. If you're gonna invade, that's how you invade. You go to seek your way in, and then hey, you bring the folks in. That's how you kick down the door, you bring in for your people. And man, it's kind of hard how they doing. Gravik, he kind of a genius mastermind. I kind of like his villainy in this so far when it comes to.
Yeah, just you don't know what we kind of know he's doing now. Right. But I have an even crazier theory, but it's really far fetched and it may not even be real. That he got replaced as far back as Age of Ultron.
How?
But see, I don't think
they
couldn't have done the spinal surgery then.
Terrence Howard.
They couldn't have. That
was Terrence Howard then.
No, Age of Ultron was Don Cheadle.
That's Don Cheadle, man.
Age of Ultron was Don Cheadle.
I know. So you telling me the real Rhodey?
They couldn't have done. They couldn't have done the back surgery if he was a Skrull.
He said you can't do the back surgery.
You couldn't.
He's right.
Why?
Because they have to go open him up.
Open him up.
They gotta open him up. I like how I saw your light bulb go off.
Something we know about Rhodey the least in the MCU. We didn't see him that much toward the end of the Age of Ultron. Then they finally made him an Avenger in that movie too, officially. But again, that's a long shot and probably not even a thing. So, like my main two theories is Civil War and like Sean said, during the blip, we got replaced. We're gonna mess around with Power the Secret Invasion.
Hey man, man. There he is. Go and get the
Scrolls of Iron Man 2.
So now I think Secret Invasion is dope so far. I really like the story. I like the characters, and I like it, man. It's some good content. I fuck with it.
So else we gotta talk about Secret Invasion. Nick Fury's married.
Yeah. So who is he married
to? A Skrull.
So what's up with Nick, man?
So he hooked up with an alien.
He hooked up with the alien.
He paid Captain Kirk, but
you the Captain Kirk, man.
Hey, win in space. Win in space.
Yo, man. So
win in space, do ass.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Like you said, the light bulb. I was like, damn, it just went out.
Shut it down.
Yeah,
Shut it down.
So he married a Skrull.
Yep, he married a Skrull.
What are you doing that for? For she trying to get a green card?
trying to get that shield discount.
The shield discount. Oh my God. can't.
Maybe they just,
What's going on here?
they fighting in the
Romance?
road. They fighting side by side.
They seem to like each other.
So who is Nick Fury, man? Maybe he a Skrull, man.
No, that's
Maybe.
Maybe he a Skrull.
Could be.
that could be a red herring. So you never know.
It's all a red. Everything's a red herring.
So yeah.
So he married a Skrull, and she ain't on his side, man. She about to sell him off on some dirt or whatever. It's like, what's going on?
Well, you've not seen the latest episode. I can't say anything.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I've seen it. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen it.
Episode 4.
Yeah, I've seen it. Wait. I think I've seen it. That's
They
the one where
explain
Rhodey was exposed, right?
Yeah, you see Rhodey as a squirrel.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. Well, I mean, so what is this? Why?
As a matter of
why
fact, it's a
did-
female scroll at that plays Rhodey.
And that's what I'm saying too, right? It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And actually, I kind
Yeah,
of
well, shapeshifters don't have to adhere to gender.
It was just like shocking. It was like, wait, okay.
Yeah.
But I kind of figured Rhodey was a scroll in the show because he talked real greasy to Nick. I'm like, really?
You fired him.
But that was a little bit too much smoke for
Yeah,
him.
He was.
A little too greasy.
Yeah, it was too greasy. That's why I believe Sharon Carter is a scroll.
I don't think
I
so.
don't know.
I think
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I don't know.
I think she's just a bitter government employee.
Remember, I said this a long time
Yeah,
ago.
she was bitter.
She's just a bitter government employee.
But I did say this a long time ago, but I could be wrong.
Because that type of
So you thought she was a Skrull
Yeah,
when you was
but- yeah.
watching Falcon Winter
When
Soldier?
it was over. No, when it was over.
It's on camera too. I don't give a fuck.
Because she was talking real greasy about Cap and the Avengers. It's like,
she felt
But she
abandoned.
felt abandoned
But to
and
become
they turned their back
but to
on her.
become the power broker, and they say, oh, yeah, I got some weapons for y'all. It's going to be a smorgasbord, yada, yada, yada. I'm like,
She
who
was
gonna
left
follow her?
stranded alone in the dark
She
with
was-
nothing.
And
Well,
she
I
lost
know,
her
I
career.
Nothing.
She lost her home and everything.
she was a
had
professional
to go
spy.
there
When you a professional
to
spy,
re-
what else you know how to
Yeah,
do?
What else you know how to do? And that's how she had to operate. So boom. That's
I'm
how
not
she-
saying y'all wrong. I mean, I see it.
I looked at it as more bitter about the.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
who-
It was
but
more
also, who did
anger
she
and
call?
disappointment.
Who did she call and who was she working with?
Well, I don't know if it was a scroll.
I think she was actually working with Val from the
Could have been
Department of
anybody. Could have been
Superhuman Affairs.
Kingpin, for God's sake.
Yeah,
I think she was working with Val from the Department of Superhuman
I
Affairs.
think that's
I
Because
didn't think about that.
But because the power broker has been known in the comics to also fund shadow government agencies with powered people.
Okay.
So that's not an uncommon thing. I mean, I could be way off base, but in my head, she was calling
I
Val.
understand that theory too, but I mean,
In my head, she was
I don't
calling
think
Val.
the scroll didn't pop up in my head, but it could be.
Anyone
you don't know
could-
who could who
You
could
don't
be
know.
You could be a
Skrulls.
scroll, Corey.
You are a scroll.
Maybe I'm a
If I'm
scroll.
a scroll, I'm gonna say I love Transformers 4 from Michael Bay. Then I'm a scroll if that's the point.
We know. We know.
I hate
Well, they're
shit out
scrolls
of
with
that.
common sense.
Right. What if they studied you long enough to know that? What if they studied you long enough to know that
Chauncey would know if I'm a scroll or not.
would he? What if he a scroll?
Well, if he a scroll, we gotta check Chauncey. When the last time you took a picture? Chauncey.
Matter of fact, last night. Yeah.
All right. All right. Just making sure we all in here. Might be some scrolls in your circle.
Right.
You gotta know how to identify.
Check your squad.
Check
Me,
your
we
squad,
gotta-
G.
Me, we
You know
gotta
what I mean?
infiltrate the rest of FNG
Shout out
also,
to the rest of
man.
the flying nerd.
I mean, I might be one. I don't know myself. Who am I?
Dang it.
What am I? I don't know.
Okay, Rogue.
Hey, at least I'm brave enough to ask the question of myself.
Well, that's good. Squirrels don't have. They ambitious. They very like Rabbit. He violent, man. He want to
Yeah,
destroy the
Rabbit-
earth. He want to burn
He's
that
trying
shit.
to kill the president of the United States.
Yeah,
like,
he's
good
going-
Lord.
Well, see, yeah,
like,
now see,
bruh,
now
he's
he's
trying to make
going.
World War III.
He's going a bit far.
Out of here, dog.
Man, so
He's going a bit far. I never understood the either destroy the world or take over the world thing because the world is hard to run.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want to take it over. This is kind of hard to
Some folks don't care, man.
That's a lot of-
No, I'm gonna do this.
Okay. The book there's this book that DC put out called Empire long ago. It was one of the few kind of like random stories in the connecting thing. It's about a supervillain who won. Like he got control of the
Yeah, you
world
let me
and
know
how
that book.
hard it was for him to hold on to power.
Yeah.
Because there was always something fighting against him. When you take over like that, you are at constant war. Because you either have to go bloodbath and wipe out everybody. So then what you take over? You gonna rule over a country of corpses?
No. And that's the whole. That was kind of thing about supervillains in general. It's like, all right, you want to take over the world, Megatron. You want to destroy the universe. Then what you gonna do?
Well, his thing was he wanted pretty much to take over Cybertron and get all Earth's resources, and then after that, Earth, Cybertron, then the universe. That's what he wanted.
My man.
But ruling the universe is a lot.
But he's right. It's really is a lot because even going through some of the Transformers lore, they had like different Transformer colony worlds, and in other later lores throughout the years, some of those
the satellite planets and the
planets,
Lost, the
Lost
Pilgrims, the entirety of the Wreckers.
Yeah, like even in the cartoon show, one of those planets had a rust virus and ended up everyone dying on that planet. They couldn't keep everything running.
In some of the recent comics, when they found some Transformers, they was like, "Fuck both of y'all. Fuck you, Megatron.
Right.
Fuck you, Optimus Prime."
Right.
There's like, "Fuck both of y'all."
And that's
like,
what I like, man. Because I was like, man, that bring the individuality out.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, both of y'all ruined our planet."
Even in Cyberverse, they lost Velocitron to the rust virus, and now they lost some of their colony planets. So like running a universe, running a planet is hard. And you can't always maintain it.
Shit.
And then even like in one of the Japanese versions of Transformers, remember they run to the Battle Beast, which I've never seen animated form outside of the commercials.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Megatron will have a lot on his plate if he did all that.
Speaking of,
It's hard out here.
it is.
Right.
Speaking of animations, the new Superman show has started. My Adventures with Superman. It's essentially a little a PG-13 Superman show. I've enjoyed it so far. It's an interesting take on the mythos. I mean, they're not reinventing the wheel, but they are reinventing the relationship, the relationships he has, and I think it's real. I think it's kind of interesting. It's pretty much like the anime sensibility brought to DC Comics, and it's entertaining. It's nothing to take serious. You don't go to this thing for high octane action.
Not at all.
He fought something that looked like a Neon Genesis Evangelion angel the other day.
No.
That's and one of his transformations was Super Sailor Moonish. But they're having fun with it. You could tell though that this is a show to not be taken seriously.
Right.
They kind of give it to you that way without saying it. They're like, have fun. Like it's a reason it's on Adult Swim because of the tongue-in-cheek jokes that they don't cross any lines, so, to make it adult content. But it's definitely like, oh, that's a Family Guy type of joke. That's like one of the early Family Guy. I see what you're doing there. Like so, what they're doing is they're maturing the subject matter and pitching it towards millennials. This is not a show for people who want an old school Superman show.
This is literally a Superman anime.
Yeah, this is Superman for millennials.
Yeah, Superman for new fans and for millennials.
And for younger.
Anybody.
For anybody, because you can jump in. It is. You can jump in anywhere, but I'm just saying it's not aimed for those of us who are looking for a classic Superman story
That we've seen like 1,000.
that we've seen 1,000 times. It is definitely a different take. The animation is nice. It looks good. Yeah, it looks good. How he uses his powers so far has been.
It takes him a while to get even the suit and used to his powers.
He is not like super confident, have all the answers. This is Superman at the beginning.
Superman almost year one.
Yeah, think of it as Superman year one. Because they even keep the thing that DC got rid of, which is Lois giving him his name, which I think is great because DC had gotten rid of that in some of the restarts.
Okay.
Which is, Lois. She was like Superman saves blah 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 in a news article. Yeah,
It
and
happened in the old movies with
Christopher Reeves. Yeah, but that was canon. Is that Lois? The reporters, the newspapers called him Superman before he called himself Superman. So the media dubbed him. He didn't dub himself. He had no name in because the S on his chest is just the family crest. It's the L. It's the House of L crest.
And even in this new version,
Walk around like I got a S on my chest and just a semioto in the bits on my chest.
Thanks.
It's my chest.
Tell him about the banks.
Yeah, I really think how they handle Clark Kent. And in a lot of modern incarnations of the Superman mythos, like shout out to Superman and Lois, they really get into leaning on, letting you learn about Clark Kent. In that show, they deal with him being a father, pretty much, dealing with his family, raising his sons, dealing with him being in Smallville, and dealing with Clark Kent as a character, and also being Superman. And same with this. This show makes you really like Clark Kent. Really, all three characters, Clark, Lois, and Jimmy, they're all kind of, young, awkward, young people in their 20s trying to figure things out. And I really like that. It's really refreshing. Okay. And it's funny, they like each other. They don't want to admit it. Like, that's cute too.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it's an easy to digest show, but it's not super kiddie or corny.
Exactly.
Is that's the other thing. It's not corny or kiddie, but it's just different. And it's just a different take on the mythos, and I enjoyed it. Like,
how many episodes is in already?
3? Yeah.
I just saw episode 3 today.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 3 episodes deep. It's one of the best portrayals of the Kryptonian science I've seen too.
And that's kind of like a mystery too. What's going on with him and his powers, where he came from. Like right now, he still doesn't 100% know where he comes from yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like he can't speak Kryptonian. He doesn't know what it means.
Yeah. So when his ship talked to him, he's like, I have no idea what you just said to me.
Right.
Yeah, it's an entertaining show.
Yeah.
Entertaining show. But
moving forward now, from Superman animation is Superman Legacy, and Jimmy Pistols going ahead and dropped the bomb on you. It's like, oh, y'all talking about Wolverine and Deadpool? That's cool. I got a trunk too, sucker.
Right.
And he dropped a whole casting dump for Superman Legacy. So let's get into it.
Man.
that's a lot of people.
Chauncey Man knows more than I do.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
So
That's a lot of
basically, kicking off, we got pretty much a nerd con fan favorite, Mr. Nathan Fillion. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
People have always wanted him as Green Lantern. He has voiced Green Lantern in numerous animated DC movies, but now he's going to be actual live action Green Lantern.
Guy Gardner.
Guy Gardner.
Getting punched in the face.
Which is, one of the more controversial but fan favorite Green Lanterns. He's nothing in the wheel of Hal or John Stewart or what have you. He's like a little bit more, would you say, reckless or just mouthy?
He's reckless, but he's also he's bitter. He was bitter because he found out that distance was the only thing that kept him from being Green Lantern ahead of Hal.
Oh, that's his spiel?
That's what happened.
Okay.
That's like when the Guardians told Guy Gardner when they finally made him a lantern, they revealed the whole thing to him. And they said, "Oh, we would have chose you instead of Hal, but Hal was closer." Like when the ring went looking for who could overcome great fear, the two biggest blips were Hal and then Guy. Hal was closer.
Right.
I didn't know guys like that working like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So he's always felt since he got his ring that he was always seen as the second string guy, and so he's always rolled around with a chip on his shoulder and an asshole
That's why he's
attitude.
an asshole all the time.
Yeah.
And also to put the cherry on top too, Nathan Fillion is also one of James Gunn's closest buddies, and he's been in almost everything that James Gunn has done.
Right.
He had a small cameo in the first Guardians.
In the third one.
Yeah, in the third one as a comical character. And he also was the detachable kid in the Suicide Squad.
Yep.
Yep. They got quite a friendship going on with that. Can't think of that.
We're getting
Metamorpho.
Metamorpho, Mr. Terrific,
I'm excited.
Hawk Girl.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with all of this, James Gunn. But honestly, what Superman story are you giving us?
Exactly.
Like, are you giving us an already in place Superman? What do you give us? Like, please don't give us an origin. Don't give us an origin.
No, it's no origin.
He's
He
trying
said
to
it's no
put this
origin.
piece together. I think he said animations and the live is going to coincide. So
And
you're already looking at Superman animation
Yeah.
that's giving you that little intro push of Superman. It's a younger version and what it's going to do. Now, I think with the movies, it's going to truncate and just give you a Superman story. Now, what it is, I don't know. But
He did say video games. I don't know how video games is going to coincide all three. That's
Well,
what
because of that Suicide versus Justice League game is supposed to somehow tie in cinematically. I was told.
Was it what?
That game?
Yeah,
Which game?
it's supposed to have some weight.
Suicide kills Justice
The
League.
Suicide
Oh,
kills.
they prolong. They keep delaying it.
I don't know.
Maybe that's why, because it's supposed to be interconnected. Because he did say video games.
Yeah. I was never looking forward to it, though.
And there's also the Suicide Squad Isekai animators coming out, which is so
Yeah.
that's coming. Which the Isekai is a weird choice, but okay. Like I wouldn't see that for Suicide Squad, but you know, whatever.
So
I'm just worried about the whole thing of oversaturation of characters. Where it's gonna like overshadow Superman.
Well, to be fair, you can still make it, have those characters in there, it's going to still be the focus. And the movie still be good, because we've seen in other productions on how they do it. But I get the work.
And then, of course, there's also the episode working of casting of who we're going to get as our Lex Luthor now, that type of thing. Now, from what I've heard, that actually is going to be a focus on Brainiac for a change, which is great.
yeah,
Give
about
Lex
time.
Luthor a break.
It's about
His
time.
knees hurt.
Yeah.
It's
give
about time.
Brainiac-
Let's give Zod a rest too while we're
Yes,
at it. Let's
give
give
Zod
Zod
a
a
rest
rest.
Even though I love Michael Shannon Zod, let's just go ahead and give him a rest this go around.
Okay.
I mean, Brainiac, I'm way
these
ready
are
for.
different aspects and different things that he's bringing. I think the casting of Mr. Terrific, what's his name, Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, you know, I think that was dope. A new Hawk Girl is a Hawk Girl, not Hawk
Yeah,
Woman
Hawk
is
Girl.
Hawk Girl.
Yep.
I think all of that is dope, man. I think he's going to present these characters. We haven't seen Green Lantern on screen in a minute. You know what I mean?
Nope,
And-
not
and
since
this version-
Mr. Reynolds.
And he already introduced in this version. It's like
Right.
it's not the Hall, but this is Green Lantern. He's establishing this shit. So, hey, I'm with it, man. I'm all with it. I'm all for it.
I'm definitely all for it. I'm just interested. I'm just glad it's not an origin story again.
Right.
I don't want it.
But like as long as it's not an origin story, I'm fully there. So
Have some balls to be Green Lantern. We're playing. I want John Stewart at that. We're playing.
Well, it still talks about the Lantern show, so I don't know
Right.
when that's
I
gonna
don't
happen.
believe it's happening. I'll be there when I see it.
they cast
You can't
Meta.
believe anything
They
now,
cast
it's a
Meta.
strike.
They picked
Right.
the perfect person for
Yeah, they
Metamorpho.
did. He got the face and everything.
That dude,
So,
he was so great in Barry. The guy who's playing Metamorpho.
Okay.
He played a character in Barry called No Ho Hank, and man,
yeah.
No Hall. Hey.
No Ho Hank.
No way. So that's cool, man. So all right. So moving forward, we talked about the Jada toys.
We did because Corey is coming to slap Todd McFarlane
Yeah,
at
he
San
coming
Diego
to
Comic
slap.
Con.
Y'all slapping one of the fingers.
Because of y'all.
And all you gotta do is slap him one time.
Right.
Bam.
You know I'm understanding the Corey Green look, Sean. Like a Peter Parker look. It ain't good.
What's wrong?
What? Well, you know, hire a goon. Okay.
Well, you gotta go with the hands, man. That's the whole point. Go with the nah.
I mean, if okay, we don't commit a felony openly, commit a felony secretly by hiring a goon.
If you can secretly get me out of work and ship me over to
Have
San
fun.
Diego, I
Have fun on
can
your
work
trip.
something out, maybe.
Right.
I don't know if I can do all that.
1-800 catch these hands.
1-800 catch these hands from Corey.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, from Corey. Look, this is how it works. When one of us do a crime, the single person own up to the crime, so the rest of us don't go down for it. You don't snitch on the circle.
Make sure my spawn one is signed.
Right.
So now moving forward, man. Look, Ice Cube versus Biggie. Are we gonna talk about this malarkey?
What is the malarkey you speak of?
Because Tony Yayo said on the podcast that the better storyteller between Ice Cube and Biggie is Biggie.
I thought you said his favorite was Biggie over Ice Cube.
He said the better storyteller.
Storyteller.
And then he went on to say that during Biggie's time, Cube had no hits. And I mean, that's debatable
It is
because you can
debatable.
do it. Put your back into it was a hit. It was a bad hit, but it was a hit.
Today was a good day.
That wasn't
That was
during
his
Biggie.
fault.
That was pre
Biggie's
Biggie Prime.
You're right.
That's pre Biggie Prime. What? You can do it. Put your back into it. No, that Biggie.
No, that was Biggie era. But
Oh, yeah.
I think personally, all right, both are great storytellers, right?
Mhm.
Biggie I got a story to tell. Name one of his songs, and it's actually a dope story. Ice Cube, though, I don't know, his writing game is kind of vicious, dude. Because if you gonna count Boys in the Hood, you gonna count Eazy-E shit, you gonna count
Dope
NWA,
Man.
you gonna count Friday, a movie.
What? Tony was just talking music. He was just talking music.
Music.
He was just talking music.
But still, all right, I still go back to NWA, Steady Mobbing, and well, it was all a good day.
And he
The
has
biggest
a
thing.
larger body of work to make a judgment off of.
Yeah, so
I think
don't know.
I think it's a worthless. I think it's a worthless argument. I think it's a worthless argument because it's subjective. Everyone's gonna feel differently, and you get a million different opinions. I hate when people do this, because especially when their primes were two different eras almost.
Yeah.
So I can't say that Biggie was more influential than Ice Cube at his prime, because when Biggie was at his prime, Ice Cube was
I'm just talking about story rap.
story rap. I give it to Ice Cube all day. I give it to Ice Cube all day. Story wise, just point blank period.
Biggie got Warning. That's a story.
Everything.
Some people say Juicy was a story, but I don't think that was a story.
Well, it was his life. It was his life story.
That was a perspective record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One More Chance was the story of how he was actually living his life, because that's what he was actually doing that.
Yeah.
Big Papa was kinda, but
It was kind of, but
Cube had more. Well, okay.
I think he got a bigger body of work.
Machine Gun Funk was a story.
Oh, Machine Gun.
Oh,
That's
wait,
legit.
dude. Machine Gun Funk. He tell the story about taking his crew out of town.
Suicide
Right.
Thoughts was a story.
When we can start comparing story songs, I think Biggie's may be a little more.
What about the
Fluid.
song on the second album when Today's Agenda? Me and like
Oh yeah.
Long Kiss Goodnight.
Long Kiss Goodnight.
What about Who's
Man,
Next?
sky's the limit.
Yeah,
Sky's the limit.
Yeah,
Because he's talking about his youth. He's talking about his youth and how he got on, how he put on. I was ashamed. My crew was lame. I had some for most of them. Yeah, he was telling a story.
You know what, Sean? I'm like you. I think it's really subjective. Man.
It's so subjective. It really depends on which person you feel influenced you more, because that was what Tony Yayo went on to argue expansively, is who's more influential. But people find different things at different points in life.
I think
Exactly.
it's kind of even, man. I mean, I don't know. Ice Cube is a legend to me, and his writing pen game is super dope to me. It's
It is.
always been dope.
It is.
So it's cool. Biggie, his pen game was awesome, but the longevity
Was not there. His career was cut short.
Yeah, his career was cut short, so we didn't even get to see the full bloom of that. Because Get Money was a story. Get Money was actually fucking story about him and Faith and shit. You know what I mean? So he do have hell of a stories and stuff.
I want
and-
to sit more on my living room floor, play Nintendo with C's and Leo. Pick up my phone, say Papa not home, sex all night, mad head in the moon. Spin my cheese, smoke all my weed, tattoo on TT. Yeah, damn.
So yeah, that's a story. So you
Had
know,
Charlie Baltimore playing Faith in the video.
Right.
Damn, Biggie.
Yeah, man. So
What
I
a-
don't know.
I think it's subjective though, still. Cause I think it depends on who influenced you more as an individual. Whose music moves you more? Because to me, music is so emotional. I get tired of the debate of what's better, what's this. Because what's better for you may not be what's better for me. And you may think what I listen to is trash. I may think what you listen to is trash. But that don't mean it doesn't have relevance with us as individuals.
Exactly.
That's kind of my problem with these arguments. I really kind of hate them. And not to kind of segue off, but it's like, and I don't like when we get into who's the best of this and this, and we lose out on people try to erase other artists. Like I guess it's a talk of from Pete Rock about erased Heavy D. It's like, dude, Heavy D is very influential in hip hop.
Yeah, Heavy D was cold.
Yeah,
Right.
Heavy D was amazing.
Heavy D was raw.
He made records without cursing and all types of
Mhm.
shit. Kind of curved the way.
He made pop music that you weren't ashamed to listen to.
Exactly.
Like when We Got Our Own Thing came on, I bumped that shit hard as hell, and you know what I'm saying? That was a dance song.
What's love, God?
Yeah. Now that we found, he had a whole house. Now that we found love with Aaron Hall.
He had some reggae stuff too.
Yeah.
He had some everything. Yeah.
He was one of the few artists that crossed over based 100% on who he was.
Man, 'cause that's
Like,
Pete
who are
Rock's
these people that's
music.
like, you know,
Well, who's making up these lists and who's going
Yeah,
along
who's
with
doing
it?
that?
That's what I'm saying. The internet going next. Someone could just post a list and say, "Oh, we doing
You can make a list right now. We can say the FNG
Well, we
top
need to go
50.
fly there.
Right, I'm saying we could do that, but you know what'll happen is that
What?
people will come out like, well, how come so? Because that's what happens.
I mean, Corey
Yeah.
Price, he don't like so. But screw
And
Cosby.
so
he
then
like so.
we can get as ridiculous with it as make individual top 50s and watch how many people come at us individually.
$5 side with most haters. Man, screw Corey Green, he ain't shit because so. Yeah, this way.
There's a song Redman created called "I'll Be There."
I'll be there.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
That's
When
me.
we are the Fly Nerd Group, and I would say, "Hey, yo, man, let's
It's a good
out
one.
here."
Yes, sir.
Wait, before we go,
All right,
Yeah,
all right.
say your last final graces.
Oh, okay.
Anything popping? Anything going on?
I mean,
Well, you going to
San Diego.
right. Screw Corey.
You got nothing, Corey. You got nothing going on, Corey. You got nothing. You got nothing.
Mary and I go to Evo.
I am just now reemerging from the darkness, so I'll have things going on soon enough.
Okay.
Shout around.
Hmm?
You came out of the shout around.
Hey, I have returned from the realm of shadows, so yeah. I'll have some stuff going on because I found a whole new gaming system to dive into that I just can't wait to expose my peoples to. So I'm excited.
Sean, see anything right around you?
Oh man, so as of today, I finished my last photography workshop with good brother Michael St. John Johnson. He should be watching if he ain't, but shout out to him either way. Been just a great honor to work with some talented, Chicago photographers, and met through him, met through other photographers also. Learn to hone in and sharpen the skills, craft wise, what have you. Just gonna switch some gears, gonna do more photography work, gonna be cooking up some more photography projects in the very near future. So check it out on the Instagram and Facebook, and that's what I got going on.
Nice.
Word. That's dope. And over here is Kai's G, man. Speaking of photography, Chicago Toy Click, man. This toy photography thing. We all invited. It's Fly Nerd Group. You know what I mean? Boy, what's his name? Excelsior 79. 78? Excelsior 78.
Risky.
Well, it's
Risky.
And we're teaming up with him, Rhea. And we're all teaming up with a couple other cats and start doing this movement with toy photography and taking this to an artistic level. So assemble.
We're
right.
gonna put it in galleries and charge exorbitant prices for you to view them and be real snooty.
With the pinky up, son. We going to the Art Basel.
And I dare you to besmirch us.
So yeah, we just making moves. That's all. Fly Nerd Group. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. It's the end of the show. We got
FNG family.
Last thing coming soon. More toy videos from yours truly on Instagram.
Yeah, see? Right.
There you go.
Did you do the snarl?
That will be this week before I leave.
Okay. I was going to say bring him in, but it's all good. All right, y'all. It's the Fly Nerd Group. Sean is out. We out. Let me get this.
I just want to take a swig of make sure I finish my booze.
Right.
That's alcohol abuse.